The fossil energy designates the energy produced from rocks descended of the fossilization of living beings, oil, natural gas, and coal. They are present in limited quantity and non-extendable. Their combustion entails greenhouse effect gases. Nuclear energy is the energy in the nucleus of an atom, which holds neutrons and protons. It can be obtained in two ways, nuclear fusion and nuclear fission, which is used by nuclear power plants to produce electricity.
Today, we are welcoming our special guests from England. Please welcome them. Sam, Alex, and Clover. Today we are starting the first round of the game with questions about the origins and formation of fossil energies. The first question for you is, when did the first fossil energies appear?
I believe that the first fossil energy appeared during the 17th century.
Wrong answer, Clover. Does anybody else know?
Actually, these energies appear during geological times.
Great answer, Sam. Here are a few comments about the appearance of fossil energies.
During the geological times, less than 1% of the biomass has been buried in soil or deposited to the bottom of the lakes and oceans. It then turned into kerogen until becoming fossil fuels such as oil, natural gas, or coal. During the 20th century and the 21st century, the use of fossil fuels permitted, on a big scale, the industrial development of some regions of the world. The fossil energy replaced the energy of the mills to water and the thermal energy produced by the combustion of wood.
And the second question is, how are fossil energies formed?
Coal is created with the fast burings of trees and plant remnants within some sedimentary basins, and oil and gas result from the genesis of hydrocarbons.
Great answer, Alex. You've answered perfectly well.
For coal, this provokes the slow and progressive formation of coal through successive passages from peat, lignite, coal, and finally anthracite, that is nearly pure carbon. Coal has been extracted underground in mines or in the open since centuries. For oil and gas, it's a process that also spreads 1 million years. It starts later by the organic matter accumulation in the sediments of surrounding oxygenated and quiet places at the bottom of closed seas or lakes. Under the action of bacteria, they turn into muds under the effect of the increase of temperature provoked by the progressive burying in rock mothers.
The third question is, how are neutrons used to create nuclear energy?
Nuclear is created by a chain effect. Neutrons are used, especially the core, as you can enter it and break it in two. This reaction creates a product which is radioactive, and a great amount of energy is created, and power reactors recuperate that heat to transform into electricity.
Great answer, Sam. Here's another point for you. Fourth question is, what has pushed the world's nuclear capacity to grow?
The world's nuclear capacity grew when men realized that if they had more energy, they will be able to work more.
Wrong answer, Clover. This is absolutely false. So what has pushed the world's nuclear capacity to grow? The reason behind this massive expansion were the growth of electricity consumption and a political desire to move from oil dependency following the oil crisis of 1973 and 1979. The fifth question is, what will be the changes brought by fourth-generation reactors to the use of nuclear energy?
Fourth-generation reactor will appear in 2050. They will have to answer many criteria like durability, safety, economic competitivity, and resistor to the nuclear proliferation.
That is perfectly right, Sam. Here's another point for you.
The first generation of reactors allow to save uranium resources. They also allow to recycle nuclear waste such as plutonium. Finally, they allow multiple recycling of energy with the transmutation of radiotoxic elements and the decreasing of the radiotoxicity by 100 points.
This is the end of the first round. We will tell you about the scores right after the commercial break.
Today, we are visiting one of our favorite European cities. Can you guess where we are? If you can, we'll pay your next electricity bill. So, just call us.
Welcome back to Questions for a Champion. Here are the scores. Sam has 3 points, Alex has 1 point, and Clover, no points. We will now start the second round of the game. Are you ready? This round will be about consequences and actual fact. The first question is, explain the importance of fossil energies nowadays and in the future.
Fossil energies represent today more than 3/4 of the world's consumption of primary energy in transportation, industries, and habitats.
Brilliant answer, Alex. It's perfect.
Majority, more than 2/3, in the production of electricity, in spite of the continuous progression on behalf of the extendable energies. This dominant position should maintain itself during the several decades. Coal is the first source of electricity production thanks to its abundance and its little cost. As for oil and to gas, they have been for 30 years at the heart of geopolitics. In 2030, the fossil energies should represent again close to 80% of the energies used. The fossil energy resources are limited and won't be able to answer the increasing needs of the world population.
The second question is, list the advantages and drawbacks of fossil energies.
Fossil energy don't pollute or create waste as they are extracted from the earth's soil. However, if we dig the ground too much, we won't have anywhere to walk on in the future.
Wrong answer, Clover, but I think Alex has the right one.
However, among the major inconveniences of oil and coal, one can mention the fact that they pollute a lot, that their price is always increasing, and that they are at the origin of the numerous conflicts in the world. The main defects of natural gas is that it is dangerous as domestic and industrial explosions are frequent.
The third question is, how is coal different from other fossil energies?
Coal is still the first source of electricity production thanks to its abundance and its little elevated cost.
Good answer, Clover. That is surprising. You have 1 point.
However, because it emits greenhouse gases, its development risks to be restrained if the international community amplifies its efforts to fight against the climatic warming up while giving a price to the carbon. A set of techniques permits to reduce the broadcast of pollutants bound to the use of coal and to stretch thus toward a clean coal, but this process will be long and expensive to put in place.
The fourth question is, which nuclear incidents have had a massive impact on the use of nuclear energy?
There have been 3 major accidents. Chernobyl was an uncontrolled stream explosion. Then on 3 Mile Island, radiation were released and the nuclear plant has to close. And finally, in Fukushima, a tsunami caused the blackout of a nuclear station.
That is perfect, Sam, as always, of course. The fifth and final question is, why is the amount of nuclear waste increasing in France?
Nowadays, France produces more energy than she actually needs. Therefore, she has to sell some of it to other countries. Nonetheless, because of this useless production, the amount of nuclear waste from the nuclear production keeps increasing.
And that is once again a perfect answer, Sam. Great job!
The of this waste is that it takes millions of years to disappear, and it has a crucial impact of population on the earth.
Here's another interesting point of view. In March 2013, a famous climate scientist named James Hansen co-published a paper from NASA computing that, even with worst-case estimates of nuclear accidents, nuclear energy as a whole has saved 1.8 million lives, and counting, by offsetting the air pollution-related deaths that come from fossil fuel plants. And this marks the end of our game. Here are the final scores. Sam has 5 points, Alex has 4 points, and Clover has 1 point. The great winner of our game is Sam!
Yes!
Great job, Sam. I hope you will enjoy your stay at Tattoo. And don't forget to send us pictures, of course. C'est horrible.
Je vais faire une compilation de tes
Are you ready? Oh, c'est horrible! Ça va jamais être actif, franchement, vraiment. Je vais me taper des barres quand c'est ça monte, vous allez voir.
Et c'est une fin de tournage.
Non mais allez, fais genre que non. Fais genre que...
Aïe! Mais t'as eu... Oh my god. Actually, mais non, mais pas ça.
Enquête exclusive chez Baby Boom. Nous nous retrouvons aujourd'hui face à un couple improbable.
Un moment très émotif.
Tenez-vous la main dans le meilleur de Même tu peux dire, hé, moi c'est des films.
Le film
Actually.
During the 17th century.
Bon, on en a où là?
Et c'est une fin de tournage.